Hello everyone, welcome back to another weekly episode of Simplicity TV. I am Jen Pike, your host. This is kind of an impromptu segment that I wasn't planning on filming today, but I just finished recording a few series for a booty challenge that I'm doing inside of my Synced community, and it really had me thinking about a question that comes in all the time. And that is the frustration around not seeing results. And you as a woman feeling like you're checking off all the proverbial boxes, right? You feel like, but I'm eating pretty healthy and I'm exercising and I'm doing all the things, or I'm doing all the things that everyone else is telling me to do. I'm doing all the things that I used to do that got me results, but I'm not feeling or seeing any difference now. And in fact, I feel like I'm gaining weight. I feel like my composition of my body is changing, where I've got inflammation or puffiness, or I never used to carry weight around my waist, and that is now where I'm holding it. And so I thought that I would bring to light 3 things that I think are really important to think about, critically think about, when you're evaluating your results. And the one thing I see happen that is, I think, really negative is we punish our bodies by depriving calories, by doing more cardio, by doubling up on training sessions, by really taking away. It's like, oh, you haven't achieved the goal. Well, now you're going to have to be punished and go through a level of, withdraw or without in order to achieve those goals. I think it's total BS. I know it's BS because it's not a principle I use in my practice, and I help women get results every single day and have for over 20 years. So here are my 3 big tips for you and things to think about. The first question I would ask you is, are you training for your body? Are you training for your specific body and the specificity of your goals? Are you taking into consideration as a woman your menstrual cycle? Or if you don't have a period right now because you're pregnant, you're postpartum, you have hypothalamic amenorrhea, you are in menopause, or you are postmenopausal and you don't have a menstrual cycle, there's a whole nother system that you can be tapping into that reconnects you to your own body. That lunar cycle. This is everything I teach in Synced and my cycle syncing, opt-in that you can get and learn more. I teach master classes about this, but it's really important because if you're following the plan from the trainer in the magazine, the latest edition of the magazine, you're following the plan that is being pumped out on Instagram right now, you're following the plan that your sister is following, or your neighbor or your coworker, they're not you. Not only do they not have the same body as you, they don't have the same health history. They don't have the same things that are going on. They don't have the same life. Like, your environment around you dramatically impacts what you can do. Right now, I'm recording this at a time when gyms aren't open. Like, this is my gym. My living room transforms into that. So it's also knowing how to train and adapt your environment and adapt your body based on using what you have to create those goals. I'm a huge believer for women, and I see it time over time, to train according to the phases of your cycle or the phases of the moon. You cannot go heavy intensity 6-7 days a week. You're not designed like that physiologically as a woman. A man, it's very different. You are not that person. So that's the first question I would ask you is, are you training based on your body and what your body really needs? The caveat to that as well too is, if you are suffering from adrenal issues, if you are suffering from an autoimmune condition, if you are somebody that has a very suppressed immune system function, which if your immune system is not functioning well, there's 100% an autoimmune connection to that and leaky gut. This is where you have to address your healing first. So I want you moving, I want you walking, doing gentle things, but you're not going to be the person that I'm going to recommend is doing heavy lifting 5 days a week. Like another woman that I might talk to who's in pretty good health, doesn't have any of these markers going on, and is really looking to change her composition. So these are things we have to take into consideration. The second thing that I would ask you is, how are you actually fueling your body? What is your foundational nutrition? If you're somebody that's like, yeah, I eat pretty good, and what that means is that you have, a bulletproof coffee in the morning, you fast until noon, then maybe you have a salad with a piece of chicken, then you don't eat all day, and then you have, meat, potatoes, even if it's sweet potatoes and broccoli for dinner, I don't actually think that's healthy, straight up. And especially if you're a woman, I think that's actually the crappiest approach you could be taking. We've gotten to this time and place in history and society where women are being taught intermittent fasting principles that are for men, that are impacting their fertility, impacting their adrenal and their thyroid health, their nutrients, their minerals, and then they are abusing the intermittent fasting rules because they're combining shortened eating windows with diet. So you're decreasing your caloric intake, you're decreasing your eating window, which is actually what intermittent fasting is not about that, nor is time-restricted feeding. And so I think it's taking a step back of all the noise that everybody else is telling you, this plan, that plan. And have you ever taken the time to actually sit down with someone and had that one-on-one opportunity to know what should your body be doing? What is the best thing for you? So if you are not getting enough calories, if you are not getting enough fiber and protein and carbohydrates and fat, it's going to be very challenging to hit your physical goals and just your vitality goals, regardless of the exercise. So if you are the woman who's filling her morning with caffeine as a way to suppress her appetite, eating very little and pushing it into the evening, not only are you impacting your hormones, you're impacting your body's ability to create proper muscle protein synthesis in order to heal, to repair, and to actually see the increase of muscle and decrease of adipose, which is fat tissue. So these are big things to think about. Do you really have your nutrition dialed in? Are you eating really healthy, but you are drinking a lot of wine? You're having a lot of alcohol coming into the weekend. You eat really healthy during the day, and then the kids go to bed, the house is quiet, and you're eating all the snacks at night. These are things to really consider and think about. And it's a conversation to have with yourself. If you're really happy with your lifestyle, that's amazing. Enjoy your lifestyle. But then don't sit over here and be like, I love my lifestyle, I don't want to give up my lifestyle, but then beat yourself up or be unkind to your body because your body's not giving you the results when these two things are really out of alignment, right? So you have that choice. You either bring them closer together or you say, you know what? I love my extra stuff in my body. I love my body for how strong she is and how powerful and just the way that she is, and I don't want to give those things up. Or you make a conscious choice that not only are those things interrupting the goals that I have, but if I'm being really honest, Jen, I actually don't even feel good having those things. I wake up congested and feeling groggy and hungover every morning. My joints hurt. I have no sex drive. I'm losing my hair. I don't feel well. That's a different conversation to have and a different lens to look through your nutrition at. The third thing that I would bring up is, are you doing way too much cardio and not enough strength training? So if we really want to change the composition, right, which means the amount of muscle to fat tissue that we have on our body, it's not going to happen from running or from spin class or from, aerobics and those types of things. It's going to happen from picking heavy things up, moving them and putting them down. And so this is why when you start to train based on your cycle, you'll understand that there are specific times of the month for us as women: follicular phase, ovulatory phase, first tip of luteal phase, where we want to lift heavy things. We're primed for that. As we get into the second half, the wing of our luteal phase into our period, we are not. This is when we should be incorporating more yoga, more Pilates. Walking isn't always for me, but I see women tearing their bodies down by cardio because they sweat. And you've been taught to equate sweat with fat loss, sweat with detox. And while some of that could be true, I'm going to tell you that there's more damage being done than good if cardio is always your choice and you're not embracing the lifting. So that is something to consider. And then the little bonus tip I'll give you today before we head off is, are you sleeping? This is critical. This is where you heal. Remember, your training, your nutrition, these are all the catalysts. This is like the stimulus and the nudge for your system. But if you're not getting the appropriate rest in combination with the nutrients, your body can't heal. Your body is stuck with this inflammatory switch that is turned on. So I don't have to remind you of all the things to do at night before you go to bed. In fact, I have a whole bunch of other videos on this. I have chapters I've written in my book. I have podcast episode videos on this. So my fourth and final bonus tip to you is to really look at your relationship to rest and to sleep. Okay, so maybe this is one you want to go back through and listen to, make notes on those 3+1 bonus tips that I gave you. And if you're struggling and you need help, reach out. This is what we do. We are here to help you. We have an entire team of nutritionists, of synced success coaches, of health coaches in the Hormone Project. We run functional testing. We offer nutritional counseling. So don't wait another day of being frustrated and feeling upset about it. Reach out and make a true commitment to your health. Connect with us at www.jenpike.com or email us directly at hello@jenpike.com. Having an amazing rest of the day from me to you, embracing all the simplicity and ease in everything that you do. Take care, everyone.